In the previous chapter, following the shocking accusation, a wave of tension swept through the room, leaving everyone on edge. Tarkan's eyes narrowed, a mixed confusion and a touch of embarrassment at the misunderstanding. "I distinctly remember saying I would never harm you," he stated firmly. Aristine, who had been silently observing him, averted her gaze and muttered under her breath, "The fact that you even entertained the thought." Unfinished words hung in the air, as if she restrained herself from uttering a sentence that would show respect for a deviant. "You were the one who mentioned our unmarried status when I asked you to freshen up," Tarkan replied, his voice a low, strained whisper. But his attempt at intimidation had no effect on Aristine. "Yes, I did say that," she began, her eyes slowly scanning Tarkan's soiled figure. "But I didn't mean it in that way." Her words were accompanied by a glance that seemed to imply, "Look at yourself, you're just as filthy. Don't you think you should clean up too?" For the first time, Tarkan could discern a glimpse of what she was thinking. "We shouldn't bathe together until we are officially wed," Aristine interjected, seeking to establish a clear boundary between them. She merely intended to remind him of a simple fact. Tarkan glanced down at himself, his clothes stained with the blood of demonic beasts. He had come straight from battle, and while the stains had been concealed while carrying her in the long silk cloth, they were now fully exposed. The sight of him, covered in the blood of his victories, didn't bother Tarkan. It was a testament to his prowess as a warrior, a source of pride. But to label it as dirt, and worse, as incredibly dirty, struck him as odd. "Now that I think about it," Tarkan mused, realizing that Aristine had defied his expectations. He had anticipated a princess from Sylvanus to recoil in horror or scream at the sight of blood. Even the battle-hardened Irugo people, with their warriors' blood, would tremble in his presence. Yet, Aristine remained composed, neither afraid nor awestruck. "I will find another place to bathe," Tarkan declared, breaking the silence. Aristine nodded in understanding upon hearing his words. Though a palace typically offered multiple bathing areas, her confined life had conditioned her not to consider such options. "Very well then," she responded, rising quickly from the sofa, her mood lightening. Even as Aristine departed with a court lady, the corridor stretching out before her exposed her slender figure for a considerable distance. Each step she took caused the red silk to flutter like wings in the air. Tarkan's mind wandered back to the enigmatic woman who had left a lasting impression on him. There was something captivating about her unwavering expression, unchanged from the first time he laid eyes on her until she departed. It was as if she had mastered the art of masking her emotions, almost rendering her face devoid of any visible sentiment. But amidst her subtle facial transformations, there was one instance that stood out vividly in Tarkan's memory. It happened when he lifted her, expecting her weight to match her petite frame, only to be startled by her ethereal violet eyes widening with surprise. In that fleeting moment, her seemingly emotionless facade cracked, revealing a depth of astonishment that caught Tarkan off guard. He had initially mistaken her reaction for tears, assuming she was overwhelmed by the shame she was enduring. Yet, upon closer observation, her countenance exuded an unwavering determination rather than fear or distress. This piqued Tarkan's curiosity. For someone born into nobility like her, the princess of Sylvanus, shouldn't be familiar with such mistreatment. Why was she the only one marked by dirt in a world where she should have been shielded from such indignities? She remained an enigma, an unreadable woman whose motivations and inner thoughts eluded him. And yet, fate had decreed that she would be his wife, his bride. Despite the predetermined political union, Tarkan found himself unexpectedly drawn to her, captivated by her mysterious allure in ways he had never anticipated. He wondered what she was contemplating at that moment. What a peculiar woman, he thought to himself. Aristine, a strong-willed and independent royal, eagerly enters a lavish bathroom where court ladies are busy preparing a luxurious bath for her. Though she initially feels a slight awkwardness due to her lack of experience being served in such a manner, her confidence and royal upbringing prevent her from being embarrassed by their presence. Instead, she appreciates their efficiency and skillful handling of the task. As Aristine basks in the warmth of the water, she reflects on the capabilities and charisma of her future husband, Tarkan. She believes that the court lady's impeccable manners are a testament to his character, reinforcing her hopes for a successful negotiation with him. However, her serene bathing experience takes an unexpected turn. Aristine opens her eyes to find the court ladies staring at her in awe, their hands frozen in place. Confusion washes over her as she wonders why their behavior has suddenly changed. The room falls into a tense silence until one of the court ladies unintentionally gasps. Aristine's eyes meet theirs, revealing her enchanting violet eyes that resemble a dawning sky. The court lady's reactions surprise her further. As the court ladies regain their composure and resume their duties, Aristine's mind wanders to thoughts of Tarkan. Suddenly, the water's surface ripples, and a vision appears before her. It is Tarkan, her future husband. "Your Highness Tarkan," a voice called out, interrupting Tarkan's musings. Turning his head, he recognized Diana, who approached with a chuckle and lightly placed her hand on his solid arm. "It's unlike your Highness to be so unaware of someone approaching. What had captured your thoughts so deeply?" she inquired, a trace of curiosity in her tone. Only then did Tarkan realize that he had been distracted, consumed by thoughts of a woman. "It's nothing," he replied dismissively. "I see," Diana responded, though unconvinced by his answer. Tarkan's gaze instinctively turned toward the corridor where Aristine had vanished. Diana paused, raising her eyes to meet Tarkan's. His focus on the direction Aristine had gone was foreign to her. His eyes remained as cold as ever, devoid of any warmth or hint of a smile. Yet, his expression betrayed an absence of indifference when he contemplated Aristine. The smile gradually faded from Diana's face. "Tarkan," she called out, and he tore his gaze away from the corridor. "Do you perhaps have feelings for the princess?" she asked, her voice tinged with curiosity. Aristine's heart skips a beat as she realizes they are discussing her. Curiosity piqued, Aristine observes Tarkan closely, noting his unchanged attire from their last meeting. She wonders when he will take the time to clean himself, as she has always disliked unkempt individuals. Her hope for a pristine image of him is interrupted when the woman in the vision addresses Tarkan, inquiring about his feelings for Aristine. Surprised by the woman's question, Aristine contemplates Tarkan's usual behavior. Tarkan responds with a chuckle, his crooked smile accentuating his enchanting features. He dismisses the notion that he could be attracted to Aristine. "There won't be such things," he replied, the amusement evident in his voice. His golden eyes, captivating and intense, subtly shifted, adding an air of mystery to his words. "You know it, don't you?" he continued, his tone carrying a mixture of invitation and warning. "My feelings won't change." The vision fades, leaving Aristine with a whirlwind of emotions and a newfound determination. After her rejuvenating bath, Aristine sets out with the guidance of the court ladies. However, instead of retiring to her room, she requests to be taken to Tarkan. She made her bold request. "No, take me to Tarkan." The court ladies, taken aback by her unexpected request, comply without further inquiry. Aristine's desire to rest momentarily takes a back seat to her burning ambition. Upon arriving at Tarkan's room, Aristine senses his displeasure at her presence. She suspects that he might be accompanied by the woman from the vision, which strengthens her resolve. Though initially desiring a one-on-one negotiation, Aristine realizes the advantage of this situation. The door opens, revealing Tarkan, who initially appears annoyed but freezes in astonishment upon seeing Aristine. "This is really that princess?" Tarkan's gaze fixated on Aristine as if under a spell. Her hair, once obscured by oil and dust, now emanated a luminous silver hue with a delicate hint of lilac, akin to a rare flower gently kissed by dye. Even in her disheveled state, her eyes held a mysterious allure that enticed him further. Her long lashes cascaded like ethereal butterfly wings, while her lips, full and inviting, resembled a tenderly blooming petal. Fresh from her bath, her damp hair and the rosy flush on her cheeks gave her an otherworldly aura, leaving anyone who beheld her feeling strangely captivated. Aristine possessed a slender jawline, a neckline that dipped seductively, and porcelain-white skin that appeared almost translucent, as if she held a secret vitality within. Tarkan had never experienced such a reaction to someone's appearance before. Not even the fairest beauties who graced the palace could stir his interest. But the woman standing before him now. It's simply because she looks so different from before, Tarkan hastily concluded in his mind, attempting to rationalize the inexplicable allure. Confusion flickered across Aristine's face as she observed the peculiar behavior of the two individuals in her presence. However, she swiftly dismissed it, taking a seat on the chair offered to her. Noticing the arrangement of teacups on the table, she realized an extra one had been prepared, presumably for her. As she settled in, no one moved to pour her tea. Aristine reached out to pick up the teapot, only to be startled when Diana, flustered, hurriedly took hold of it. I am sorry, princess," Diana stammered, her head bowed apologetically, fearing that Aristine might perceive her actions as disrespectful. Aristine's gaze lingered on Diana momentarily, her enigmatic expression revealing no hint of offense or indifference. Diana found herself perplexed by Aristine's inscrutable demeanor, even more drawn to her inexplicable allure. How can her face be so captivating even without an expression? Diana wondered, her heart sinking with the realization that her initial joy upon hearing of the first princess's arrival was now unfounded. With such breathtaking beauty, who knew what effect Aristine would have on Tarkan if they were to encounter each other daily? He was undoubtedly shaken by her earlier too. Diana clenched the teapot tighter, her emotions surging within her. Tarkan's composure was rarely disrupted, making Aristine's influence all the more astonishing. "Greetings to the princess. My name is Diana," she offered, her voice tinged with forced cheerfulness. Aristine acknowledged her with a nod, her own voice resonating with clarity and elegance. Diana's attempt to lighten the atmosphere with a smile faltered, for she couldn't dispel the somberness within her. "You may leave now," Tarkan's voice resonated, prompting Diana, who was arranging the tea set, to pause. "Leave? So it's just the two of you?" Diana thought, taken aback. Nevertheless, she recovered swiftly, maintaining her flawless smile as she bowed her head. The court ladies followed suit, departing the room, leaving Aristine and Tarkan alone in a cloak of silence. Tarkan broke the stillness, his voice cutting through the air. "What is it?" Aristine feigned a moment of confusion, her mind humming with amusement. It became evident that she needed to forego any pleasantries and address the matter directly. Tarkan's rigidity demanded such an approach. "Surely, there must be a reason for me, your soon-to-be wife, to have tea with you," Aristine replied, her words carrying a hint of mischief. Tarkan's disapproving frown creased his brow, expressing that the acceptance of their impending marriage was not his decision alone. "No, the same goes for me. Do you think I volunteered to marry you?" Aristine mumbled under her breath, her gaze drifting towards the tea before her. The aroma wafting up was enchanting, and she brought the cup to her lips, savoring the warmth as the tea glided smoothly across her tongue, a sensation she had never experienced before. It was genuinely delicious, a hidden delight amidst her unwanted circumstances. "I didn't come here for a friendly chat," Tarkan, Aristine announced, straightening her posture and locking eyes with him. In her mind, forming an alliance outside of their personal relationship seemed the most viable option. She held firm in her unwavering confidence in her abilities, her gaze clashing with Tarkan's golden eyes, reminiscent of the sun, and his deep purple eyes, akin to the dawning sky. "Let us do business together." What secrets lie behind Tarkan's words with Diana, and how will they impact Aristine's perception of him? What will Tarkan's response be to Aristine's proposal of forming an alliance and doing business together? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.